Hi, welcome back. This book is called A Quiet Place by Douglas Wood, illustrated by Dan Anderson. Sometimes a person needs a quiet place. A place to rest your ears from bells ringing and whistles shrieking and grown-ups talking and engines roaring and horns blaring and grown-ups talking and radios playing and grown-ups, well, even grown-ups need a quiet place sometimes. But it can be hard to find one. You have to know where to look. You might look in the woods. You might find an old stump for a chair or a mossy log for a couch or a green mansion of shadows and sunbeams. It's not really quiet, of course. Blue jays scream mornings and wind sings in the leaves, but it feels quiet. And you can be like a timber wolf, a gray ghost in the forest. The woods can be your quiet place. But if the woods are too dark and deep, you could look by the sea. On a beach in the early morning fog, your footprints are the first of the day. The waves are roaring and the gulls are crying, but it doesn't seem noisy, and you can just be an explorer discovering a lost continent. The beach could be your quiet place. But if the beach is not your cup of tea, you could look in the desert, where Old Man Saguaro reaches for the sky. Far off thunderheads bloom like sky flowers over the mesas. A cactus wren drops by for a visit, while a horned toad blinks in the sun. And you can be a Pony Express rider galloping through the Old West, and the desert can be your quiet place. But if the desert is a bit too dry, you could sit by a pond, a heron by the shore, stand still as a tree branch, and the water is so calm it looks like a mirror. Then a frog plops from the lily pad and your face begins to wiggle, and you can be the world's greatest fisherman reeling in the monster catch. A pond could be your quiet place. But if the fish aren't biting, you could look in a cavern where every footstep echoes, and the slow drip drip of water builds new rocks that hang like icicles or stand like sculptures, where days and nights and weeks and years are all the same. And you could be a cave dweller in the lair of a saber-toothed tiger. A cave could be your quiet place. But if a cave is too cold and damp, you could climb to the top of a hill where the clouds float by like ships or alligators or elephants. On a hilltop that you can see long way and think about long thoughts about how and what and why. And you could be a mountain climber at the top of the world. A hilltop could be your quiet place. But if your legs are too tired for climbing, you could wait for a snowy day and lie down in the snowdrift. All around you, the falling snow whispers, shh, and wraps the world in silence. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it breathing. You breathe softly too, pretending to be a polar bear sleeping. In a land where the snowy silence never ends, a snowdrift could be your quiet place. But if it's too warm for snowdrifts, you could visit a museum where brass tigers and bronze lions stand silently guard over fabulous treasures. Every painting is a magic window that your own imagination can open wide and climb through. You can be an artist admiring your own masterpiece. A museum could be your quiet place. But if the museum is closed for renovation, you could go to the secret corner of a library where the only people talking are between the covers of a book. They speak so softly that you can only hear them in your head. And as you read about forests and oceans and deserts and caverns and museums and 1,000 other things, a library could be your quiet place. But if the library isn't open yet, you could come home and clean your room and read your own books and think your own thoughts and feel your own feelings and discover the very best quiet place of all, the one that's always there no matter where you go or where you stay, is the one inside of you. What do you think? Do you sometimes need to find a quiet place just for your own thoughts? Tell me about it.